Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for being here. My name is Christy Mahon. I am with Dream Vacations Escape Artist Holidays, and I'm so glad you're with us tonight because we're headed down under, as if you didn't know. For those of you who are new here tonight, this is part of my weekly series where we visit a different destination every Thursday night. It's our We Will Travel Again events. And if you are interested in seeing upcoming events, or our past events, stick around till the end of the presentation. I'll give you the links for that. Tonight, I am very happy to be joined by my colleague, Grace Ambrosia from Carnival Cruise Lines. Welcome, Grace.
Thank you, Christy. Thanks for having me. Welcome, everyone.
Now, I'm so excited we're talking about Australia. Australia is one of these places that seems so completely unattainable. It's the other side of the world, for heaven's sakes, but it's not. The truth is that anywhere you want to go really is attainable. All it takes is a plan and working with your friendly neighborhood travel agent. Tonight, we're going to be setting sail with Carnival Cruise Lines. They're an excellent, wonderful cruise line. They do great work for families, multi-generational trips, and really seeing the world in a way that gives you access. And that's really what seeing a place like Australia is all about. It's a really big place, right? It's like trying to see the United States in a week. You can't do it all, but you can do regions of it. And tonight, Grace is going to talk about some of those details as we visit some of the ports that are included in some of the itineraries that Carnival does. So I'm going to ask Grace to go ahead and share her screen. And while she's doing that, I'd like to remind everybody that if you have questions or comments, you can go ahead and put them in the chat box, and I'll keep my eye on that. And then when we get past Grace's presentation on Australia with Carnival, we'll talk about some other things. So I hope you enjoy it. Please, like I said, pop your questions in the chat box. And I'm glad you're all here tonight. So thank you, Grace. Take it away.
Thank you, Christy, and welcome, everyone. So honored to be here tonight talking about Australia and the fabulous Carnival products that we offer. You know, Australia is one of those amazing destinations, kind of bucket list items. We, as Christy said, you know, Carnival's been around for quite some time, and we were really founded on the principle that everyone deserves the right to a great vacation. And we just celebrated our 49th birthday this year. So we're really excited about that, but we've served over 80 million plus guests. And our mission has always been to make fun, memorable vacations accessible to everyone. So if you're looking to, you know, dive in to Australia and see some of the regions and experience it on a cruise ship, which I personally think is a really great way to see another destination. To be quite honest, there's so many benefits to taking a cruise to see Australia, New Zealand, Tasmania, all these great destinations down under. You pack and unpack once. You're in a familiar area every day. You're not switching hotels. There's a lot of the comforts of home, but yet we add a lot of, we call them ossifications to our ships. So I'm just going to kind of jump in here. Let me, a moment.
I like that, ossifications.
That's what we call them, ossifications. So, you know, tonight we're going to talk about things cruising to Australia, what makes it such an amazing experience, and the experiences that you can have on board. So whether you've cruised before, maybe you're someone that we call a cruise rookie, that you're completely new to cruising, or maybe you've cruised a different cruise line, or like I said, just completely new to Carnival brand, we have something really for everyone. And what Christy mentioned earlier, you know, we like to think of our ships, our vessels, the destinations that we go to as an experience that can be shared by everyone. So we'll talk a little bit later on in the presentation about areas on board where we're going to cater more to children, more to adults and couples. We also do a lot, especially I'm gonna call it that we're gonna see a big surge in what we call multi-generational travel. You know, once everything kind of gets back and sailing again. And that's where, you know, maybe it's grandma, grandpa, nieces, nephews, grandchildren, extended family members, friends, all traveling together. And Carnival is really, truly a great fit for those types of vacations. So what we're going to talk about today would be a couple of little things that we're going to go over. The overview of what I want to talk about now. Our Australia product, we have 2 ships that sail there. In the front of this picture, you're going to see the Carnival Spirit. And in the back of the background of the picture is the Carnival Splendor. So we really just started sailing Australia in 2012, where we deployed the Carnival Spirit. And then we've had the Carnival Legend there for a period of time. And now we've introduced the Carnival Splendor. And she just arrived in 2019 to start sailing from a new port city for us. So we're going to really talk about amazing Australia with these cruise ports, 2 in particular, which I think I have a nice slide on. Well, we have one from Sydney and one is Brisbane. So hopefully you're seeing my slides there. The slide that I just showed you was kind of something that we're very familiar with the port of Sydney, but Brisbane is really this new destination for us. It's a great option. It provides a lot of opportunity for pre and post vacations. And like I said, cruising is a great way to see Australia, where you're going to pack once and stay for a week or longer. You know, we're going to share a lot of options for you, a lot of these destinations, some of these exciting itineraries. Honestly, I could talk probably for hours about all the different destinations that we go to in Australia. So I'm going to try to tailor it down and really focus on our new home port, which is Brisbane. Now, both of these ports, which I think is really fantastic and exciting, they are going to be opened as year-round ports for us. So we will sail year-round with 2 ships in Australia, Sydney, as I said, and Brisbane. So we'll talk a little bit about what those ports offer. Now, Brisbane is kind of an unknown. It's something that's a new port destination for us. It's really known as the River City. And what you're seeing here in this shot is actually the Central Business District in Brisbane. So, you know, we like to say kind of where you're probably more familiar with Sydney and Melbourne. They're a little bit more cosmopolitan cities. Brisbane's a great destination. There's a lot of really unique things here. It's kind of lesser known, but it really has a truly unique experience to offer. Okay, so I want to just let you know, as I just mentioned, that Brisbane's a new home port for us. So really what's exciting is that there is construction on this new cruise terminal. That's what you're looking at right now. Brisbane cruising goes to a lot of great destinations, which I have beautiful shots to show you in just a second. You can actually fly into Sydney or Melbourne. And it's fairly easy to get to any of these cruise terminals. So there's a lot to do in the city, as I said, for pre and post options as well. And pre and post meaning before you're sailing or after you're sailing. And we offer a variety of length sails from Australia. So you can sail anywhere from a 3-day cruise to nowhere up to 17 days, or you can do back-to-back sailings where maybe you're incorporating multiple destinations. But again, you can always incorporate pre and post. I'm a big fan of that. I love to go, you know, especially if I'm going someplace new or someplace I haven't been yet. It's kind of a fun way to explore a new city too. So as I said, we have the beautiful, the Brisbane International Cruise Terminal located here as well. So let's talk a little bit about what Brisbane has to offer as far as the city itself. So as I said, it's known as the River City. The appeal is that it's really a great local destination. People here are super, super friendly. There's a lot of nice insight, I guess, to Australian culture that's available. And it's very multicultural aspect as opposed to being in the larger cities. And it's a really great city to kind of explore and lots to do here. So what you're looking here, as I said, is some of the activities that you can do on the river. And I believe the population is somewhere about 2 million right here in Brisbane. Okay, so this, I was told, is a great destination. There's a big outdoor dining scene in Brisbane, which is pretty interesting. That's what you're seeing here. Again, big river city. People like to be outside. The cool thing about Brisbane is the location of it being a little bit northern in Australia. And something that I always think is pretty fascinating is it is down under. So it's kind of the opposite of us that are in North America, where when you go further south, it gets warmer. It's the opposite in Australia. So it's a little bit further north. So even in the winters, the temperatures are around 62 degrees. So pretty comfortable. For those of us that live in, chillier climates, it's pretty nice to think of being outside and enjoying dinner in bars and restaurants during the winter months. So there's a lot of like rooftop dining here. There's lots of bars. Aussies are a lot of, fun, energetic, outgoing, friendly people. So there's a lot to do here, lots of parks, lots of things to do around this city.
It's a big food culture there too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Lots and lots. So the shot that you're seeing here is actually, again, another shot of the river in Brisbane, the central business district. You kind of see that in the background there. So here we are, it's called Street Beach. So this is a man-made beach area. Again, that's on the backdrop of the CBD. And they have these world famous Australian lifesavers patrolling the beach. So lifeguards, if you're from the US. So around September, I was told that there's a big, huge river festival that happens here. And I think something that's pretty cool is that you can swim year round in this river, in this beach area. Moreton Island. So this is another area right off of Brisbane that you might have heard of before, but it's really just a couple of steps, not too far, but maybe about an hour boat transfer from Brisbane's. And this is actually the second largest island there. There's one additional island that might be a little bit bigger. It's called Fraser Island, which is a little bit harder to get to. So that's why we kind of recommend this place. It's also a great destination for a day trip. So if you're staying, doing again, a pre or a post, great destination to jump onto for a day trip. Now this is another kind of to do in Brisbane if you're staying for a pre or post. And this is on Moreton Island again. So these are wild dolphins. They come to the shore from the bay, and you can go there and pet them and feed them. There's a lot of things that you can do here. It's really an all-day event. As I said, these are wild dolphins that come up. And the other thing too, I know we're talking about the Port of Brisbane, but just so you know that when we do sail from Sydney, we actually make a stop here as well. So we have a lot of shore excursions on Moreton Island as well. We do quad bike tours, sand boarding, parasailing, helicopter tours around the island. So lots of fun things to do. And this is even before or after you've gotten on your cruise. And then this is one of my favorites, Australia Zoo. I'm sure everybody's pretty familiar with who you're seeing here. Iconic, famous Steve Irwin, crocodile hunter. This is only a 45-minute drive or transfer from the heart of Brisbane. So it's located on the Sunshine Coast, and there's a great place to meet all of the amazing, incredible, wonderful animals that are in Australia.
Yeah, if you watch the TV show that features the Irwins,
Yeah.
you'll be right in that zoo in a blink of an eye.
Yeah,
Right?
I would love to go. Yeah, absolutely. And then here's another great shot. So, you know, they have all the kind of typical animals that you'd expect to see in Australia. Again, koalas, kangaroos, emus, they're all there for you. Okay, and now just so you know that Brisbane, you saw on that map that I showed a couple of slides back, is actually located between two world-class beaches. And they're both only about 45 to an hour or so drive away from between both of those coasts. So there's the Sunshine Coast and the Gold Coast. And this picture that you're seeing actually on screen now is the Carnival Spirit on anchor out in the sea at this coast. So the Sunshine Coast is actually a local beach where a lot of the day trippers will head from the city, and they'll go to the Gold Coast is more of the tourist destination. It's kind of a little bit more famous. Lots of theme parks, spectacular beaches. So there's just so much to do. Okay, and this is a shot here of the Gold Coast that I was just talking about. So it's really the world famous Gold Coast. You'll see a lot of surfers and beach goers here. It's pretty beautiful destination. This beach is about 35 miles in length. And then how can you talk about Australia and not talk about the Great Barrier Reef?
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty interesting. You know, it's when we were learning and kind of when we started to sell Australia, it's such a new destination for us. And I've been with Carnival for 20 years this year. So, you know, for us to open this opportunity and then just continue and add additional ships and additional home ports and year-round sailing, you know, honestly, one of the things is the Great Barrier Reef. Like that is so spectacular. And we'll talk a little bit more about this, but again, great destination for pre or post. There's two really great spots to go, which we'll talk about as well. Cairns and then Airlie Beach. And, you know, sometimes people extend their stay here just to spend some more time. And I believe that this entire reef, the length of the reef is somewhere between, I believe it's about 1,430 miles long. It's pretty spectacular.
It's one of the biggest protected areas in the ocean too for
right.
marine life.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think I have some more slides on it too. So this is something to do in Airlie Beach. Again, just kind of adding to the cruise experience. Again, doing a pre or a post. This is something that's super unique. You can see from here some of these slides. This is Reef World. So it's a unique way to kind of stay out on the reef with the Great Barrier Reef. These are accommodations you can see on that top right corner picture that you can stay in accommodations that are under the water line. Yeah, pretty cool, right? And then the bottom one on the right is it's a traditional Aussie mini tent, which are called swags. So I think that's a pretty unique experience.
That is a very cool way to do a little Finding Nemo while you're dry.
Oh, and I have some shots of Nemo too, don't worry.
Okay.
Okay, so you heard me mention a destination called Cairns, which you see up there. It's pronounced nothing like it's spelled, but that is something that you can do as an optional, again, pre or post or add-on. If you were sailing from Brisbane on the Carnival Spirit, it's about a 2-hour and 30-minute flight to that area. Okay, so we talked a lot about what's there to do when you sail from Brisbane. Again, I could talk forever about the Sydney port too, but I figured let's just talk about Brisbane today. A lot of them, you know, kind of overlap each other on some of the destinations that we do. So, excuse me. So the slide that you're seeing here is spectacular. I believe it's Isle of Pines, which we'll see. So as I said, there's so many different options for sailing Carnival Cruise Line from Australia. Whether you're doing a short cruise, which we're calling cruises to nowhere, where you get on in the home port, you literally sail nowhere, you come back, but you get the whole experience of being on the ship and the destination. Again, that's a great way you can add a pre or post, or maybe you're looking to do something a little bit longer. Maybe you're looking to incorporate some other destinations like the Pacific Islands, which we'll talk about, again, the Great Barrier Reef. And so there's so much to see and to do. Really, if you're taking this trip, Christy and I were talking about these bucket trips, and this is definitely one of them.
Absolutely.
You want to take some time and really kind of explore this destination. So as I said, we really do cater to so many different types of guests, whether it's going to be families, the multi-generational travel, as I said, or enjoying the activities that we offer on board. We offer the food and entertainment as well. It really creates a beautiful holiday. And again, one of the biggest and best selling points, I think, of doing a cruise to Australia is the fact that your hotel is literally moving you from destination to destination. So let's check out some more shots of where you go when you sail from Brisbane and Sydney as well. But Great Barrier Reef again. So as Christy said, this is definitely an incredible space. It is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. And this is located in North Queensland in Australia. And it, as you can imagine, is a destination where scuba divers go, snorkeling, people who like to snorkel and snuba. This is a fantastic destination. So these reefs are, as I mentioned, a great way to scuba dive. Also, there's a lot of options and beaches here where you can just go sunbathing and relax. There's a rainforest not too far away. Great Barrier Reef cruises as well. So we certainly don't sail through the reef, but there's smaller boats that will take you and do more exploration. And I showed you that one hotel a couple of slides before.
Of course, an amazing snorkeling and scuba diving and all of that. There's so much to enjoy here. If you particularly love being outdoors,
yeah,
right? Whether
absolutely.
it's kayaking, like sea kayaking, or beach pursuits, right? The kinds of things that you were talking about before, like parasailing and things. There's so many wonderful things to experience here, some of which were invented in Australia, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, some of those fun, crazy beach things, this is where they come from.
Yeah. Okay, so let's, so I told you.
Oh, there he is.
Nemo. Yeah, so
Sorry, little Nemo.
Great Barrier Reef is one of the largest coral reef systems. And again, it's a World Heritage listed Great Barrier Reef iconic sites. So there's just so much to do. As I said, there's plenty of shore excursions and way to explore this really beautiful destination. And I think that actually this shot is one of our counterparts who went scuba diving, and someone actually took this photo. So it's kind of unreal to see something, from someone's camera that they've actually done. I mean, that's how beautiful and clear and just incredibly spectacular this destination is. And I believe that there's also an option of doing an overnight in Cairns, as I mentioned. You can do some diving and exploration as well. And then, I'm not a diver, but this is something also, there's plenty to do for people who are non-scuba divers, kind of the novice snorkeler like myself, or trying snuba or swimming, and, just to learn so much about this amazing destination. Okay, so we're gonna move on. So this is, again, that Cairns area. That's spelled so differently than it's pronounced. So this shot, I think, is just tells such a different story of what we just saw at the Great Barrier Reef. So you can do overnight stays here as well, and you can explore these forests that you see. It's really something spectacular, and I think this is one of the only places in the world that you can really visit this great reef experience along with the forest. Now, Airlie Beach, this is another great shot. This is the Carnival Spirit. You can see there's just so much to do on board. And, you know, Christy didn't really want me to spend too much time talking about the ships, but of course I have to talk just a little. Yeah, no, I won't go into too much, but there's really and truly just so much to see and so much to do. And I would be happy to do an entire Carnival cruise presentations of the ins and the outs of the ships for the next call, but we wanted to talk more destination focus.
We do call them the fun ships for a good reason.
They are. And, you know, we'll talk in a couple more slides about the ossification of our North American based cruise ships too. So let's just talk just a little bit about Airlie Beach. So this is actually the southernmost point of the reef. So again, you're going to see, let me see, I think I have a better slide there. So a lot of beautiful white beaches. Supposedly the sand is so white and so clear and crisp that it squeaks when you walk on it. I think this shot is called White Haven Beach, and the sand is 98% silica. That's why it makes a little squeaky noise. And it's 7 kilometers long. And what you're seeing there hanging is one of our notorious towel animals. Our cabin stewards will always do these like towel creations in your cabin every night when you return for your turn down service, and you'll always have something fun sitting in your cabin.
Something different every night.
Yeah, so this is just a cute picture. And we also have when you're on board for things to do. You know, a lot of these Australia sailings are a little bit longer in length and duration. So we have so many more activities on board than a typical Carnival sailing has. Even though these are port intensive itineraries, we find, you know, that we do get a lot of Aussies on board, and they're really busy and they like to be very social. So we definitely have increased a lot of the activities that we do on board. And I know we do towel animal creations and some fun stuff.
Well, that's great, because that means that people from North America or anywhere in the world really get to mix and mingle with the locals, even when they're on board. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so, you know, I'm not quite sure who's watching. You know, we're probably from all over the world, but you know, we are typically a North American based, Caribbean based. So sometimes that's where our clientele draws from. But, you know, with having these 2 ships in Australia, we're definitely pulling a lot more from that local market and giving Australian guests an opportunity to sail Carnival. So, you know, personally, you know, that's one of the wonderful things about traveling is meeting people from different parts of the world and different cultures. And, you know, again, kind of being all together, and with some of the experiences that you have on board, whether you're doing your traditional dining, where maybe you're dining with new friends, or you're dining alone, or you're trying some activities that we have on board, or, you know, just enjoying yourself and trying new experiences, you definitely have an opportunity to meet some new people on board with Carnival. Definitely, we truly, as you said, are the fun ships.
You are. And the other thing too is, you know, I was thinking about this week while we were preparing for this, and, you know, like whether you realize it or not, the Australian culture really permeates a lot of our kind of day to day, whether it's their actors and their, you know, their films, music, food, right? I mean, just so many things about their culture are so fascinating to everybody else in the world, because we gobble it up.
Right.
So to know that, you know, not only are you going to be in port on the days that you're in port and see the things that are there to see, but to really interact with people both on land and on sea, because they're fun people, they're fantastic. And that's part of the experience, especially on a Carnival ship.
Absolutely. So the slide that you're seeing here is talking a little bit more outside just the Australia market, but some of the great destinations that we go to in the South Pacific as well. So depending on the amount of time that you have for your Australia sailing, you can do something a little bit unique, port intensive perhaps, and really kind of explore these South Pacific areas. And it kind of just extends outside and explore a little bit more of Australia. So we're going to talk a little bit about New Caledonia. And this is just something spectacular. So some of the destinations that we have here too. So some of the next few slides that I'm going to show you are going to highlight a lot of what you're going to see on these South Pacific sailings. So Noumea is a great destination as well. Look how beautiful this is. This is very French in flair. And this is, I believe, is the capital city of New Caledonia. So there's a lot to do here. As I said, it has like a French flair to it. There's so much to keep any of our guests busy. You can really choose to be as busy as you want here. You can obviously spend a lot of time at this beautiful beach, just relaxing and swimming, or you can get into the city and kind of explore a little bit more there. And I'll show you some of those slides as well. So we offer, when we go to these destinations, we shore excursions that are available for our guests to really explore even more. So those are excursions that Carnival puts together to make sure that you're really enjoying the most out of our time in port. So some of the options that we have here would be to visit museums, historical sites, again, some water activities, whether it's going to be snorkeling or kayaking, lots of walking tours. There's hop on, hop off options as well, and some other tours available too. Now, I just feel like each slide is more beautiful than the
right,
next.
better and better.
So Lithau, this is another beautiful island. This is located again in New Caledonia. So great destination, of course, for snorkeling, beaches, lots of culture. We have two nice shore excursions that we promote on board to kind of explore. There's some really nice marine spaces that you can do with Jeanette Bay that we also promote on board. It's an area, it's another beautiful, diverse coral reef. There's over 2,000 different fish species. And it's a really nice way to kind of preserve this land the way we control it. And it's really, they work together with us, with our cruise company, to make sure that all the beauty is preserved on this phenomenal destination.
That's wonderful.
Then there's another way to kind of visit with the Malaysian Encounter, where you can really meet with locals, indigenous people, see the thatched roof huts that they have, explore what it's like, kind of get a beautiful tour of some of the indigenous people here as well. So lots of different options. You know, again, this is such a great destination for beach options, but then also we add so much with the museum and historical. And
yeah, the cultural piece, right?
Absolutely. And then here, again, just another beautiful shot. This is called Mare. The population here is about 5,500. It's the second largest of the Loyalty Islands. And this again is in New Caledonia, and it's off in the Pacific Ocean. It's really phenomenal. And then there's some really great, obviously, beach excursions and destination here. And then Isle of Pines, which is another area that I feel like I hear a lot about. It's something it's kind of one of those destinations that might be on someone's bucket list. Again, this is beautiful. It's a very small population, only about 2,000 people live here. They say this is the jewel of the Pacific Ocean, the Pacific pine trees, and the beautiful white sand. You can see it's a great destination here for swimming and snorkeling. Also, there's shore excursions that we offer, turtle encounters, turtle bay encounters. You can swim with these turtles. So, you know, some different things that you would typically want to do on a cruise, a normal cruise in the Caribbean. And then you have Mystery Island, which is another beautiful destination. And you can see the Carnival ship in the back. That's the Splendor, I believe. So Mystery Island came to be, I believe, after there was a royal visit in 1974. It is a beautiful, picture perfect spot. Again, in the South Pacific, the island is uninhabited, and the only people that you'll find here are actually cruise passengers. So it's smaller in size, great destination just to kind of explore the entire island here. And I don't think I mentioned that Mystery Island is in Vanuatu. So that's where this destination is. Some of the excursions that we offered, as I said, it's uninhabited. So there's obviously lots to do. We keep our guests very, very busy, but there's like stand-up paddle boarding. There's tours and walks to the other side of the island. There's a shuttle that actually runs around the entire island as well to take our guests around to explore. So you heard me talk a little bit about how we ossified our ships. So, Carnival is predominantly US based, with the exception of our entrance into the Australian market. So there's some things that we've added on board, as I said, some things that you may be used to, with a little touch of Aussie on it to kind of really get you into the destination. So some of the things to take note that are, a little bit different than what we offer on our US sailings. The minimum age to drink and gamble is actually 18. In the US, it's 21. For the Australia experience, it is 18. We offer room service. We do offer some faster to the fun packages, which gets you to your cabin a little bit quicker. All our ships are completely wireless from bow to stern. So that means the entire ship all over, there's Wi-Fi packages available for our guests to stay connected. We also have a package called Cheers Package, where we for one price include all beverages. So it's a beverage package that we have available. We have one for alcoholic beverages as well as a non-alcoholic package as well. And then we have some programs on board. I told you that we do have lots of great programs for families. We have kids camps on board. Our camps are complimentary. There's lots to do for families and little ones on board. And we do a great program similar to something that we do in the US, where we have a great partnership with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And we do something again on board for local children's hospitals in Australia. We call it Wiggle and Westmead and Conga for kids. So it's a great way to give to the local economy there and the local hospitals that work with children and really bring some smiles to their face. And as I said, lots of Carnival favorites with an Aussie flavor. And just this shot that you can see here, this is just our waterworks area. I mean, even that's something that we enhanced, even by the names that we changed the names to some of our water slides on board. For example, the Green Thunder is what we named that beautiful water slide there. We have great splash parks on, totally missed that slide, sorry. We have some great splash parks on board as well, lots of activities for our guests. Also, other things that we've done on board, which are pretty cool, is that we've changed things and we say that it's more like Aussie speak. So on the menu, you're gonna get, instead of a lot of like shrimp, you're gonna get more prawns and rockets. Also arugula and peppers. We also have some like grilled tomatoes, Aussie style bacon, local meats and produce. The other thing that I think is pretty interesting is that we've added a lot of coffee bars on board both of our ships, because that's something that we found is very important to our Australian passengers. They love coffee. So we've added lots and lots of coffee bars on board as well. And there's lots of different entertainment options. We also have some Aussie comedians that come on and entertainers, local entertainers. Some are with you for the entire sailing, some are fly-ons. So lots of pretty cool things that we've done on board. Just wanted to pop in a couple of the shots. I can't have this presentation and not talk a little bit about kangaroos and other parts of Australia. I think the great thing about exploring and taking these destinations and for your time tonight is, you know, learning about this new destination, how I can go on a cruise ship and see so much and, you know, never leave my comfort zone of having my clothes in the same spot. And literally it's a floating hotel taking you to all these wonderful destinations. But, you know, Australia is such a spectacular destination that we want to make sure that you know that you can, you know, certainly go more into the outback as well. So I don't know if I have a map in the next slide, but this is definitely a fantastic destination. You can bring the coast to the outback. So basically, you know what I was just saying, like from going from these cruise ports, you can actually just head more west, take a trip to Aries Rocks, which is the shot that you're seeing here. There's a lot of daily direct flights that are available from Brisbane to this area. You could do small like weekend trips, 4-day trips to really kind of explore this destination. There's nothing like, you know, taking a vacation to someplace that's new and maybe this is a bucket list destination for you, or maybe it's going to be just a weekend cruise for you, but there's nothing like going and really immersing yourself in a destination. Absolutely. So hopefully, you know, you've learned a little bit more about what we offer with Australia. And I just want to mention a couple more things that for us, I mentioned earlier that we just celebrated our 49th birthday, so pretty big birthday. Next year, we're going to be celebrating our 50th birthday. So some of the things that we're going to do to really celebrate with our guests are these funship meetups. So you can see there's 5 different destinations and dates that you're seeing on your screen. And we're going to have one in Australia, March 6, 2022. We're right outside of Brisbane, we're going to have the Carnival Spirit and the Carnival Splendor do a meetup, kind of the slide, the shot that you're seeing behind me, kind of the 2 ships.
Yeah, right.
To celebrate. And we're going to do lots of fun things on board.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're interested and you can book one of those sailings that will kind of incorporate that, it's going to be a pretty historic moment to celebrate this monumental birthday. And I apologize if you can hear my dog barking. Before I end, I just want to talk a little bit about the relationship that Christy and I have and why we partner together so well. We've worked together for quite a few years. You can see on the slide here, we give a lot of recommendations of why we at Carnival recommend you using a travel advisor. So, I mean, some of these are, you know, clearly, Christy, that they're very educated. They've had personal experience of a lot of these destinations, can give you kind of these insider tips and advice. Christy, for example, works with a lot of different suppliers, you know, so she's very well versed in what we offer. The thing that I think is so important in booking any travel is really working with your travel advisor, where Christy can really kind of create the perfect vacation for you. You know, whether it is going on a cruise with Carnival to Australia or doing a different destination. You know, we certainly just want everyone to kind of get back out and traveling and really appreciate the support that we've had of our travel advisor partners like Christy. So I would highly recommend booking with her, regardless of what you're looking to do. And some of the nice things, you know, that she can do for you is really custom and tailor make the vacation. So I talked a lot about what we offer and the shore excursions and the different destinations we go to, but Christy can really put the whole package together for you, doing a pre and post and maybe doing something more to go to the outback and something that we don't offer. So highly, highly recommended, and really appreciate that Christy asked me to come on this evening and to speak to everyone.
Yeah, this was great, Grace. You really touched on things that are kind of not the typical thing that we kind of automatically assume, right? Like we just didn't even bother with Sydney today because I feel like everybody's got a pretty good solid handle on what Sydney's got to offer. So I'm so glad that you focused on the Brisbane part of it. That was really great. You know, I do appreciate very much the confidence that our partnership brings to my ability to working with my clients. And you're right. Whenever I work with anybody, no matter how close to home they are or how far they're going from home, really tailor, making that trip tailored to their interests, excluding the things that they're not interested in, including things that they are interested in, and kind of wrapping the cruise in whatever else they want to do while they're there. I can tell you guys that on every trip I've booked for somebody down under, whether it was New Zealand, Australia, or even Tahiti, they didn't just go to one place. Everyone who traveled that far also did one of the other places. They did Tahiti and New Zealand. They did New Zealand and, coastal, like a cruise, and an inland. It wasn't just one thing. This is the kind of thing, you're going to want to take 2 weeks to go to the other side of the world, because there's so much to see. There's so much to enjoy. There's people to meet. There's things to do. There's memories to make, right? There's experiences to have. And the reason why you have this place on your bucket list is because you know that. And you've been watching it on TV and in movies and on, documentaries. You can flip on, the National Geographic channel pretty much any night of the week, and you can see somebody down under with a kangaroo or a crocodile or something, or see a movie with an actor from Australia. Australian culture has permeated everybody else's culture in such a way that we embrace it more than we probably even realize it. And of course, the wildlife that's there is really, genuinely, literally unique. So if you are very much interested in nature, in the environment, being outdoors, this is a really special place to be. So tons of reasons to go, and everybody has their own reasons, more than one. It's also become quite the foodies paradise for those of you who consider yourselves foodies. It's a great melting pot of tastes and cultures. There's a lot of Asian influence as well. So lots of different things going on to motivate you for that trip. And of course, working with a travel agent gives you a lot of benefits. Grace mentioned a few. There's a few more on screen here. Really, it's the benefit of working with an expert. You can spend countless hours trying to figure it out on your own and never be quite sure what you're going to get until you do it. Or you can reach out to your friendly neighborhood travel agent. So I do encourage you to be in contact with me. I also want to let you know about this. I have recently gone through a number of courses to constantly educate myself, not just on the latest news, but on what's going on around the world in different industries, whether that's cruise, tour, resorts, you name it. And my agency's become Travel Safety Verified. And you can find a ton of great information like this on my website as well. There's some great resources up here. So whether you had a vacation canceled and you've got credits and you don't know what to do, you can contact me. I can help you with that. You are considering going on a vacation, but you don't want to know where it's good to go right now, contact me. I can help you with that. All the things that you have questions about. Do I need a COVID test? Are they accepting visitors from my country? All those questions. I'm your go-to gal for this. Don't feel overwhelmed by all the information that you see on the news or see on the internet. That's the benefit of really working with somebody who's in the know. This is my specialty. It's my job to put you on a great vacation. It's your job to go have a good time. So I had to put some koala bears in my presentation. So here they are. And I want to thank everybody for being here tonight and just for registering. If you are interested in booking a qualifying Carnival vacation, I will offer you up to $150 discount on that trip for any cruise booked by April 30th of this year for travel this year or next year. Just a little incentive to maybe, let's get that idea on paper. And if you are interested in reaching out to me, if you aren't already on my contact list, you will be after tonight. Congratulations. But you can certainly contact me by phone or by email. I encourage you to go on my website, escapeartistholidays.com. And when you do, you'll see this great big graphic, enter to win $5,000 vacation giveaway. You do have to be in it to win it. Every quarter, we give away something fantastic. This time it's money. It's money towards a vacation. And you can use it on a Carnival Cruise to go to Australia if you win it. So if you are interested in tossing your hat in that particular ring, just go to my website, Escape Artist Holidays, where you see this graphic, click on it and enter. You can always follow us on social media. I'm all over the place. So whatever is your preferred social media platform, please follow me. I'd be happy to have you along for the ride, especially as we get ramped up to go traveling again. And for this event, the recording of which will be posted on Monday, so you can come back and watch it again. You can share it with your friends, your family, and say, hey, I saw this great information about a trip to Australia. You should hear about it too. You can see this recording and all our past recordings, as well as learn about our upcoming events at this link, bit.ly, We Will Travel Again events. So we are going next week to Tahiti. So not really close to Australia, but closer than like London and New York, where most of you guys are located, right? Or California. Tahiti is next week. The week after that, I'm doing England. We're gonna go all over the UK. I'm gonna host a night of, going all over the English countryside and cities and do some great visiting over there. We're also going to be visiting some other great places this spring. So I do hope you'll join me on another future event. If anybody has any questions, now's your chance to pop them in the chat box. Otherwise, like I said, I hope you'll consider reaching out to me about your interest in traveling down under. There's, again, so many reasons to go, so many things to see and do, so many amazing people to meet. That's one of the things I love the most about going on a cruise, especially a cruise that's lighthearted and has great spirit. It just breeds new friendships and you learn new things, and you live a little. Maybe you go karaoke night. You might not sing, but you're going to have a darn good time. Grace, any other parting comments?
No, I just want to say thank you for everyone for their attendance, and thank you, Christy, for inviting me for this evening.
I'm so glad you were here to do this for me, Grace. And I want to thank all of you for coming. I hope you all stay well, stay healthy, put those masks on, and I hope to see you again on another night.